Hi, y'all. My name is Z, and I'm the Director of Youth Outreach for the Future Perfect Project. Oh, and my pronouns are they, them. I'm very excited tonight. We have Tyler Wallach, the visual artist, joining us this evening. This is going to be an incredible lineup of a wonderful talent named Tyler Wallach. I'm so excited and grateful that you are able to join us this evening. Tyler, hi Tyler. Tyler just joined. Tyler is an incredible human being, an artist, an activist, an advocate who's worked with several organizations and produced work or had his work commissioned across the country. I'm so excited they could be here with us, and I'm going to have them join us.
Hello.
Tyler, hi.
Hi. Okay, cool. Now I get to see what it's like with both of us in here. I'm like,
There
I've
we
been staring, I
are,
know I've been staring at myself on camera, and now I'm like, okay, here we go.
doing all the angles, adjusting. I should have worn my Tyler Wallach. Hold on.
Oh, right? Gotta have a costume change. Meanwhile, yes, he's going to be changing and putting on Piece by Artist, as you'll come to see. I produce some clothing as well. Oh, not just a,
I'm wearing the Tyler Wallach.
that's awesome. You look great.
I feel comfy cozy. I'm very excited to be wearing your work. And I'm so
Awesome.
grateful that we finally get to meet. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. This is such a great organization, and anything we can do to inform queer youth, I'm all for it.
Yeah, so let me tell you a little bit about where we come from and what we do. So the Future Perfect Project is an organization that believes that the self-expression of LGBTQ plus youth and allies is a declaration of a better future for us all. We started a couple of years ago going around our co-founders, Celeste Lacine and Ryan Amador, were going around the country and working on a piece of theater and bringing workshops to queer youth and to LGBTQ centers. And they started realizing that there was this reckoning that was happening amongst queer youth where they were living in a future that had not yet arrived. And so they formed the Future Perfect Project, and we provide free arts programming to LGBTQ plus youth and allies. And we also have several forms of media in which we amplify their voices. So we have an animation series. We have FP Records, our own record label. We have queer comics where we produce animations
Oh, awesome.
written by these queer youth. It is really awesome. And I'm so glad that you get to be a part of our FPP Live interview series where we have an amazing guest join us every Monday night to talk about what their artistry is like, what being queer is like, and what growing up queer is like in this world today. So I am an autobiographical artist. I'm an actor and a writer and a producer, and I wear many different colorful hats. I'm wondering if you could tell us a little bit about you. And the way we
Yeah.
start all of our workshops is we say our names, our pronouns in a sentence to describe how we're feeling and where we are, and then you can go into your whole thing. So I'll start, and I'll say my name is Z, and they are feeling grateful in Roselle Park, New Jersey. You're up.
My name is Tyler, um, and I go by he, his, him, my pronouns, and I'm feeling colorful tonight in Brooklyn.
Yay! So tell us a little bit about you
Yeah.
and your art and what you do, how you identify as an artist.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I have slowly come to self-identify as a queer artist living in Brooklyn and New York City. I moved here with a degree in musical theater, actually, from Texas State University. And while I was getting my BFA in theater, I was sort of frustrated with the lifestyle of acting classes, dance classes, singing classes, and those three hitting you from every angle at all times. So one of my outlets of artistic frustration was taking a class outside of theater, which I would recommend for any young artist. If you really think that there's only one type of art you want to do for the rest of your life, try other types of art before you finally jump into something like that. So I took a screen printing class, and we had to come up with an idea of drawing what we were, And I came up with the idea of drawing a cloud type character, which these are some of the first few sketches that I ever did while I was still pursuing theater. And later found out that I would spend about 6 months of a year working on drawings, paintings, and different things like that. And then the rest of the year get high res images taken of the paintings and turn them into textiles and fabrics and different types of t-shirts and things like that. But honestly, my career in art came through a frustration with theater and navigating that difficult lifestyle of almost never feeling like I was good enough. In theater, I think all of it is it's in so many other people's hands, and you're standing in front of a group of people just hoping to be good enough. And I don't know if I ever really felt good enough with my experience once I graduated from college, because college really holds you tight, especially art programs in college. And then once you're done, baby, you're done. Okay, you're not paying tuition anymore, so no one's hugging you or holding your hand, and you jump into the big bad city. And yeah, I started putting up these stickers all over town when I moved here. The movie Exit Through the Gift Shop was very popular at the time, and I thought, well, if there's like a Banksy out there, I could be like the gay Banksy, or just like in some higher iteration, some type of queer renegade street artist, Keith Haring style. The art was very phallic, it was very rainbow, it was obviously sort of queer. And yeah, so I put up these stickers all over town for a really long time. And long story short, these guys from LA visited town, saw the stickers, contacted me by means of the information, a little small tag on the sticker to identify who I am. And they said, oh, this is, you must be some type of artist in New York City. Obviously, you've got like this queer street art thing going on. And we're putting together right now a show called The History of Queer Street Art in LA with two queer street artists, Jeremy Novi and Homo Riot. One of them stencils koi fish on the street all over San Francisco, and the other one stencils jock straps and the word Homo Riot all over LA. And they wanted me to be a part of this with my little rainbows and my little cloud
Yes!
characters. And I'm like, I can't believe this. Like I've worked so hard in other areas of art and pushed and pushed and pushed and dedicated 4 years in a degree, and to a certain extent felt like I was never welcomed and could ever really do it, even though I was doing it. Come on, Dorothy. But anyway, I barely tried to do art, and it worked, and it like succeeded, and it just felt like this is what I'm supposed to do, something that like came out of frustration, because I didn't need to audition for anybody to be good at this. I did it, and it's all mine, and I get the final say, and I do the final product. And like, I don't have to do this monologue 50 times for 50 different people and get 50 different comments from them. So it was really fun to sort of work on my own. Now, as I'll say later in the interview, that's a complete double-edged sword. Having all the time in the world to do what you want is the gift of being the independent queer artist, but can also be the curse as you learn how to manage your time. But but yeah, so I've been sort of working in New York doing live painting and activations for queer organizations, the Trevor Project, Tyler Clementi Foundation, and really any type of organizations that get involved with anti-bullying efforts. That was sort of my identifying factor of being queer, was sort of being bullied, and others realizing I was queer before I realized I was. So you go into hiding, but you don't even really know why you're hiding. And yeah, the art is even a greater expression of avoiding hiding and sort of self-identifying as a colorful type of person, and a very queer person at that.
Yeah, very much so. I love what we'd like to tell our young people that we work with is that their voice matters, or that their work, their creative expression, whatever form it may come in, is valuable and important to the world. And I'm
Yes.
wondering whether there was anything for you growing up that you were like, this needs to change, that you like bumped up against, and what you did about it.
Yeah, I think growing up in Texas and growing up queer, in a completely loving and quite normal family environment, a family of four in the suburbs of Houston. I think one of the things that popped up early for me was that like there's things that happen but that you don't talk about, like people being gay, or someone having a surgery to lose weight or something, like to a greater extent it's the that there's this type of like gossip, and sort of an avoidance of that in sort of like public situations. And so I think I always wanted an outlet to stand out more. I kind of wish I could have been emo. I wish I would have been more angsty, but like I said, like my family was so white, so normal and like plain and very privileged and like um so once I it was a hoodie at American Apparel in its heyday, and it was like ridiculous. It's like $79 for this purple hoodie. But I just wanted it so bad because without using any words, it was a very tiny way I could identify with who I knew I truly was while being in high school and being scared for anybody to find out. And when I wanted to get it, my mom said, Tyler, I don't know about that purple hoodie. It's very purple. People are gonna, and it was like that like people are gonna, I started to say, good. I love that. Like, perfect. Let think that, fine. He's gay as hell. Well, I am. So it's like, I think that I realize that, and now I do that too with my clothes too. Now, of course, you don't have to be a queer person to wear it, but it comes from.
Yeah. Now, so you moved from Texas, from the Houston suburbs to New York City, big NYC, to pursue theater. Now, what was it? What was that moment? You mentioned that you transitioned into being a visual artist, a street artist. What was that moment? I know you acknowledge sort of the um, the challenges of being up in front of folks, but I'm wondering what that moment was where you were like, actually, this is the path that I want to pursue. Because I think it's really important for queer youth to recognize that there are options, that they do
Yeah,
have options. And I'm wondering what
lots.
gave you the courage to take on another option.
So I got a phone call from a gentleman who works out of, I think, Philadelphia, and he had contacted me and said, "Hey, I see that you've adopted this form of live painting," which I did. I moved to New York City and I lived in Williamsburg for 4 years. And I lived like 2 blocks from this bar called Metropolitan Bar. And it's a queer little dance, divey, really, really fun bar. And there used to be this party there every Monday night called Hot Fruit. And so I decided, okay, if I'm going to be an artist, I need to be around like the people from Party Monster. Those are like the people that mattered in New York City. That's going to be a way I can get in because they're nightlife people. So I can go out and be a part of this nightlife thing. I'm a theater person. I still love costumes. I still love makeup. I still love, the drama of normal situations. And so I had been painting live at this bar for like 4 months, creating a new painting once a week at this party. And then this guy, he says, listen, like, I'm really into like the marketing aspect of things. And I think what you can do is you can go to, he's involved at the Miami-Dade Business Foundation for Gay and Lesbian Business Owners. So he goes, we're going to hire you to bring you in to do 3 paintings for the duration of our gala for the night. And then we're going to auction the paintings off at the very end of the night for everybody live in front of everyone. And it'll be great. You can do the paintings in between the 2 open bars at the gala because everybody's at the open bar at the gala. And they're all going to be watching me while they're standing in line to get a cocktail. And it was a really brilliant idea. And that's when he was like, let me know how much you want for your artist fee. Let me know how much you think we should start the auction at. And like, I need your full information for like, I'll send you like hotel options and details. And of course, we'll put you in like a fancy room and, with the first class and all of that. And so putting all of that together and realizing the potential for myself based off of that one idea. It was sort of like in that moment, I realized like, if you don't take yourself seriously, no one else will. So I just, I quite literally took the opportunity as a sign. It was the second time something like this had turned into money for me, when it's like, how ridiculous is it that you want to turn in your BFA in musical theater to like doodle at a professional level? What? I don't think, I had never taken a drawing class in my life. So, of course, my parents who supported me through college were very confused and frustrated. Like, so now you're going to be like a painter and you don't want to dance anymore? It's like a really strange turn of events, but it completely makes sense now. I've taken the model of what that man did and seen marketing and vision for myself and gotten a manager and ended up, you know, parlaying this art into drawing art for the release of a new phone on Samsung, which was tied in with The Masked Singer on Fox TV, and then and then I'm in a commercial that's airing during the Grammys, and it's just like I was just doing this because I was frustrated, and now, hmm and now what a blessing! Like, it's so cool. And at the helm of it, early on, my father told me, he said, I just want to let you know, you're going to do this now. You're really open about how gay you are. And, just so you know, from a business perspective, that could turn potential customers off. Um, and so I realized that, and I didn't take offense to it. It's a very obvious statement, but maybe it wasn't obvious to me at the time, but I'm glad that he articulated it, because in that moment I decided, like, no, it's part of my branding, it's part of my identification. Like, it wouldn't be as authentic as what you're seeing if you didn't know that it came from a queer artist. Um, so I think that was, one of the important lessons to learn in that moment for me, when I started taking it very seriously.
Yeah. Now that makes me so curious as to, when did you figure out you had, self-identify as a queer artist? When did you figure out that you were queer? When did that you come to that understanding?
Honestly, I I was thinking about this before we did this, because I'm like, you got to have a really good answer. Because my honest answer is like, of course you see like sexy stuff on TV and you're like, why am I so interested in that? Okay, that's a given, but that's still kind of confusing, because I was like interested in anything sexy on TV, okay? But really what it was for me was when I saw the movie Clueless, I wanted to be Cher Horowitz so, so bad. And in that moment, I realized like something is like up. Like, I want to be her, and like I wanted to like be in that car and have like her clothes, and I wanted to have her pencil with the furry, like there was like a feather attached to. I just like went home and found a feather in the street and like tied it to the back of the pencil, just to try and just harness like a little bit of that, which I think is some of that same beautiful queer energy people get from like drag queens and divas, and like, really amazing actresses who can like take over the room. And I remember maybe impersonating her or wanting to act a little bit like her, and realizing like that you're going to get called different types of names for it. So I think that was like one of the first times that, yeah, I realized that I liked strong blonde women. And then Sabrina the Teenage Witch came along, and I wanted to be her too.
Oh, I love that. I love it. So, can you talk to me a little bit about? You mentioned that you do a lot of advocacy for anti-bullying
Yeah,
organizations and work, and I'm wondering whether that's something that touches home. Did you experience bullying at all, or
yeah,
can you talk to me a
yeah.
little bit about?
I think specifically coming from the South, it's something that you are going to deal with. Now, that's like it can be an unfair blanket statement. I came from Houston, which is, it's fairly developed, but when kids are young and can be unkind, and they don't even really know it, because they're learning in an aggressive way or just asking aggressive questions sometimes. But I was definitely bullied for being a little bit of effeminate young boy. I was always in, like I said, I was always into dressing up and pretending and playing, even if it meant pretending I was a girl or pretending, I was a wizard or a witch. Like, come on. So, yeah, there's several like different facets of that. And hold on, wait, what was the beginning of this question?
Yeah. So growing up, you mentioned that you were, or you mentioned initially that you work with a lot of LGBTQ organizations, anti-bullying. I'm
Yes,
wondering
yes, yes.
whether that touched, as that
So
touched home.
realizing that, like, yeah, realizing that I was like effeminate, there was a really dark period before I had sort of found theater and found my tribe. As I'll say, like, I think that's the most important thing that you can do as a young person is sort of seek out other people. If you're weird and different, find a weird and different friend too. But there was a period of time where I felt like I could not go a day without being called a fag or, and I just, that was like, it was the only thing I thought about when I woke up in the morning, and it was the last thing I thought about. And it's like I could go feeling like I'm tricking the world, feeling like I'm tricking people into thinking that I'm straight, and then one sly comment of someone calling me a fruity or any other type of like derogatory name, it would just like send me in a tailspin. And it did put me in a like a very I was suicidal for a while, and it just felt, completely unfair. And the saddest part is that you, as a young person, you can't see your potential in that moment. And I'm so grateful that I never took the step towards, like physically, hurting myself in any type of way. But yeah, I stay involved with those types of charities because I know what it felt like in that moment to have a loving family, be in a school where there's help, have, good enough friends that you could probably tell, but not wanting to, and still feeling alone, and still, realizing that that can happen and it's okay. Um, I wish that I would have, spoken to someone professionally. I almost feel like nowadays, therapy is it's so much more talked about than it was, I suppose, when I was in junior high, which I'm 33, so I guess I was around 13, 14. So I guess this was, something like, I don't know, more than 15 years ago. But yeah, I think just the ability to talk to someone professional can give you so much perspective. And somebody, if they just could have like shook me and helped me realize in that moment, I figured it out for myself, and I'm grateful for that. And like I said, I did find a group of theater people who, who had listened to the Rent soundtrack before. Okay, they knew what was going on in the world of queer things from the 90s, and pushing into the early 2000s. So, then you finally get to a group of weirdos where they're so much weirder and cooler than you that like you're not even weird enough for them. And then that's when you get into a whole new queer microcosm.
Yes, yes. I love, we often tell our young people that our workshops, our community is a way to build a tribe, to find your people. And we have a Tuesday night workshop, a writer's workshop, where we pick a topic and then we have a quick writing prompt and we open share and discuss that. And something that I've noticed by being a facilitator is that they support each other in a way that I recognize when I found my people, that was the prize. It was like, oh, just by sharing my voice and being heard. And, as someone who also, or someone who experiences mental health illness and issues, speaking to someone is such a valuable resource in making sure, however cliche it might sound, it does get better. It does get better as
Yeah.
we step into ourselves as artists, and your vulnerability is just so tangible, so accessible. And I'm wondering, if you could speak to your teenage self, uh, I'm wondering what you would say to them, or what piece of guidance or love would you offer them?
I would say to like If I could talk to my teenage self, I would say relax. Just relax. Like every time I get 5 years older, 10 years older, even right now, I'm like, thank God 33 ain't 23. And I know when I get to 43, I'm gonna be glad that it ain't 33. So I think there's like so much comfort in knowing I would say relax. Um, you know, I think one of the reasons that I make this art and do this type of thing is so that I feel like I really don't have anything to prove. So I almost want to tell them, be like, don't worry, you have nothing to prove to anybody. But even through, being this independent artist with nothing to prove, that's sort of something to prove. So I might also say, you have nothing to prove to anybody. Just, you know, it's the beautiful, like I say, it's like the beautiful, wonderful advice any girl who won Drag Race could say. It's like everything that makes you unique, independent, and special is your ticket to stardom, success, and everything that you want in the world. If all you're gonna do is copy what other people do, it's already been done. And you can do it, but you're gonna get paid half as less and get booked less often. Do what makes you unique and stick with it. Um, just stick with it. Oftentimes, I see people give up too early, also, and I'm like, you are so good. What were you waiting for? Someone to come and tell you that? You got to
Mm-hmm.
keep going. You got to keep
Yeah.
going.
Did you foresee a RuPaul moment just now? You like of like me holding a little picture of little Tyler up and letting that was beautiful. I feel like such a beautiful moment. You are
Yeah.
the America's next greatest street artist. You didn't even know you
If
were on
only that
on
show were
TV
being
for years.
produced. I know. I know. If only.
It's all you. It's all you. So I can't thank you enough for your generosity, your love, your talent, you being willing to share your spirit with our young people. And the last question I want to ask you is sort of a posterity question. And I'm wondering what if you could envision the perfect future, what would it look like to you?
Perfect future for myself?
For yourself, for the world, for queer youth, whatever really
Yeah.
speaks to your heart.
Oh, in the future, I'm looking forward to more, we've heard it a lot, but it has been an extremely difficult year. And for someone like me who really relied on a lot of brand partnerships and a lot of in-person events, you know, I easily made less than half of what I did the year before. A lot of people did, but I am still lucky enough to be doing, what I've got. But I'm looking forward to more opportunities for us to share that like very tangible queer love with each other in person, for people to see my art, on anybody's body or on anybody's wall and sort of feel that love, and to give more people an opportunity to meet me. I'm really a big people person. Like I loved waiting tables for 6 years when I did it before I became full-time artist. It's, theater people. We really do like other people. And when you feel like super comfortable blending with anyone, when you're an actor tasked to become anyone and work with any type of director, you can parlay that into your real life.
Oh no, signal technology at our last moment. I'll give it another second before I wrap this up. Oh, oh, bummer. Well, that was a interview to be remembered. I will check in with Tyler and see if he can throw any love out there. I am so grateful for you all watching and being a part of tonight's FPP Live. We have an FPOW workshop tomorrow night, Tuesday at 7 p.m., calling Feeling Gender, where we're going to discuss actually some work of a FPP participant and what it means to feel and experience your gender. We also have next week's guest, Sienna Liggings, coming on, and we have an incredible, exciting summer lineup coming in the next couple of weeks and months. So please keep a lookout for that. With that, I'm so grateful for your time, your love, and may we all continue to express love and gratitude to the people in our lives. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Oh, Tyler, do you want to come and say one last word? Let's see. That was quite a false ending there.
It's a huge production team here. I know you sent over executive producers, the band, everyone's here. We couldn't figure out the technical difficulties, but we're back.
You're back. You're back. It's so funny. I gave a false ending. I was like, thank you so much, everyone.
No, it's okay. It's okay. You can do another one of those in a minute. But did I cut out too soon? Did I get to answer it or no? Because I was still going.
You gave us plenty. I just wanted to give you the last moment to sort of share your last words.
Oh, I just wanted to say thank you so much, for your youth. I think it's great. I think it's great that they have, a place to come, something to watch, somewhere to go, somewhere to feel included, somewhere to feel valued for exactly who they are and exactly what they're doing. And, people like you and organizations that you're working with are exactly the type of people that I want to continue working with and spreading, my art and love and joy, because I truly believe, when like what Marianne Williamson says, when you let your own light shine, you give permission for others to do the same. And I hope that if anyone could be inspired by this, to go ahead and, crochet something really cute and sell it, or take a doodle and turn it into a painting, if you've never painted before. So, go do that and spread love and spread color.
Yes. I just adore you, Tyler, and I cannot thank you enough for being willing to join us tonight. Thank you so much for the work that you do, the advocacy work that you do, and for the beautiful art that I get to wear, that I get to purse around.
Of course.
It's really,
one of my
really
newest.
makes me so happy. Oh my gosh, Angelica! I love your cat dog.
Yeah,
cat dog posting.
Oh yeah, so I haven't posted a picture of this yet. I'm going to soon, but I wanted to give you the exclusive, the sneak peek right here first. TMZ, baby. Here's Angelica.
You
She's
saw it
soon.
here at the Future Perfect Project.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I gotta tell you, one of my birthday, Christmas gifts, requests is constantly a Tyler Wallach. So you're gonna be on my wall one day. Just throwing it out there. It's gonna happen. And it'll be the first piece of art that I invest. One of many of yours that I'm investing in. You're just so giving, and you remind me how worthy of love and light and color I am. And I hope that all of the people who were able to watch tonight feel that as well.
Me too.
Thank you, Tyler.
Thank you. Thank you to everybody for watching. Keep watching.
Yeah.
Follow us both.
Yes, follow, like, share, comment.